morning. Welcome to Gladden Community House. I'm Joyce Shivers, the President and CEO of Gladden Community House, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us this morning. I want to express my deep appreciation to Mayor Ginther, Columbus City Council, and the city's Department of Education staff for being here today to support and celebrate early childhood education. At Gladden Community House, our preschool program is an essential part of what we do to prepare children to succeed in life. Many of our children who start preschool are not ready for their first day in classroom. Starting school can be exciting, or it can be a stressful situation for the children or for the parents and caregivers. Starting school at Gladden Community House, we want to make sure that it is our goal to offer the support as well as making sure the children are successful and excited about being at school. We also make sure our preschoolers, parents, and caregivers have the support and the basic needs to help them provide a safe home environment and to keep the families together. We offer families emergency assistance with food, utilities, housing, and linkage to other supportive services. For our preschoolers' older siblings, we provide a safe and fun after-school experience where we are offering a full healthy meal, group activities, recreational activities, as well as homework help and educational assistance. Gladden Community House has been the community hub and essential social support system for Franklinton and the Near West Side for over a century. Each year, our programs and services improve the quality of life for over 12,000 community residents. Again, I thank you for being here and to support the need of every child to have access to quality of early childhood education. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Cierra Adams from the city's Department of Education. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Cierra Adams, and I work for the City of Columbus Department of Education. I have a 6-year-old daughter. Her name is Bristol. She attends Columbus City Schools, A.G. Bell Elementary School. We all know what the research says about the benefits of an early childhood education. Well, I have the evidence. The evidence that shows that without a quality early learning program and the early interventions they provide, my daughter would have been behind in pre-K and, even worse, not ready for kindergarten. When Bristol turned 3, I enrolled her in preschool, just with the thought that I needed childcare. I wanted her in a safe and structured learning environment. It was not very long after Bristol's 3rd month of preschool that her teacher told me that something was wrong with Bristol. She told me that Bristol's speech was garbled, and it reminded her of someone that needed tubes in their ears. Okay, so it wasn't one of those, let me pull you to the side and talk to you about your child and my concerns for her. It was actually in passing as I was picking Bristol up from school that evening. So that moment changed me. I wasn't prepared to hear her. I was in fact defensive, angry, and I dismissed everything that she said. Because I know my baby. She's a genius. I can understand her. Those were just some of the thoughts that were running through my mind. Weeks later, the preschool that Bristol attended, they had their regularly scheduled hearing and vision screenings. Bristol failed her hearing screening, and she was referred for additional testing. After several doctor's appointments and evaluations, Bristol was diagnosed with permanent hearing loss in both ears. I asked Bristol, "Can you hear?" She said yes. I asked Bristol, "Do you need help hearing?" She said yes. Hearing Bristol say that, it broke my heart. I instantly was in tears, but I knew I had to do something about it. So looking back, I'm very fortunate to have that teacher and her bring her concerns to me. But as a parent, it's difficult to hear that something's wrong with your child, let alone that they have a disability. Today, Bristol's in the 1st grade. She loves school, and she loves wearing hearing aids. And I can say that without those early interventions, I don't think I would be able to say that today. I would like to thank Columbus Early Learning Centers, Columbus City Schools, and Nationwide Children's Hospital for identifying, diagnosing, and supporting Bristol and I on this journey. I would also like to thank my family, my friends, Rhonda, Matt, and April, for their endless support. But most of all, I would like to thank Bristol. Bristol, you endured so much, and you maintained your resiliency. I love you. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Columbus City Council member and Chair of the Education Committee, Elizabeth Brown.
Cierra's story really says it all. I feel like there's the very little that any of us can add in addition to a parent's firsthand experience. So thank you for your honesty and bravery to come up here and tell your story, and thank you, Bristol, for giving your mother permission to do so. My name is Elizabeth Brown. I'm a Columbus City Council member, and I'm chair of the Council Education Committee. I have a very bad cough. I have a cold. My little girl is almost 3, and she brings home absolutely every illness. I'm sick year-round, and all parents of young kids in daycare or school know that. So what we're talking about here today is personal for me. It's personal for Cierra. It's personal for parents all over the city. And what's clear is that, and what data has increasingly shown is so clear, is that education, the access to quality early childhood education, is often that first opportunity divide. That first divide in who can send their child to a quality early childhood education and who can't. And that's the bad news. But the good news is that it's also the first opportunity that we have to help close that opportunity divide. And I am so proud to be a part of the City of Columbus's efforts to do just that by providing Early Start Columbus grants. I want to first thank the Education Department, whom I get to work with on a daily basis. Director Johnson's vision and tenacity in providing a quality early childhood education to every child is unmatched, and so thank you, Director. And I really want to thank Mayor Ginther from the start of his time in public service, but I do remember back to when he launched his campaign for mayor, that he said, early childhood education, pre-K, but also broadly, early childhood education is critical for this city. We know that an investment in a child's earliest days, in their learning, in their skills, an investment in that is an investment in the long term, is an investment in our economic development and our future as our city. It's also critically an investment in today's workforce. I know from firsthand experience that I can't do my job as well if I don't know my children are safe during the day when I'm doing that job. And that goes for every parent across our city. So thank you again to Gladden as well for what you do for kids and families, and thank you to the mayor for your commitment to pre-K education. Mayor Ginther.
Good morning. It is a great day in the city of Columbus, over here in Columbus's birthplace in Franklinton, the amazing Gladden Community House. And before I go any further, let's give a round of applause to the young people behind me who are doing an amazing job this morning. So proud of you, and I know how hard it is to sit there and listen to all these grown-ups go on and on and on and on and on. So thank you, and I'll talk quickly. I have a 8-year-old running around my house, and so I know how to be brief and direct, and I appreciate them being here today because they are what it's all about. All of this incredible public-private partnership that we are engaged in is all about them. We heard some pretty compelling stories, as Councilmember Brown mentioned, and they're stories that she and I hear as we travel around this city every day. They bring home what the data and research tells us, and Cierra and Councilmember Brown have touched on this. Children who participate in high-quality pre-K experiences thrive in kindergarten, significantly improve their literacy, language, and math skills. Early childhood development helps prevent achievement gaps, reduces the need for special education, increases the likelihood of healthier lifestyles, lowers the crime rate, and reduces overall social costs. Children who come to school ready to learn are more likely to succeed throughout their educational journey and lead healthier lifestyles. We all believe this. And this journey that we're on with Early Start Columbus back in just 5 years ago. We started with just a few over 300, and now we have over 1,000 for the last 2 years of spots that are funded for high-quality early childhood education. A great story, but not enough. And it's not enough that we, as folks that are big believers in early childhood education, talking about it. We need to start a movement. And this movement begins with the women and men in this room, our colleagues across the city, mostly keeping these young people in front of mind as we start this movement. We're very deliberate and efficient the way we invest our dollars. We lay our funds with other funding resources such as the State of Ohio Early Childhood Education Funds and publicly funded childcare. This allows us to extend the number of children we serve while using city funds more efficiently. This approach uses city funds for what is known as last dollar funding while still serving low-income working families. And as I mentioned last year and this year, we've been able to fund last year 1,000 and this year right at 1,000, just under. And we're hoping to get a few more during the course of the year. In this school year, we're partnering with 24 providers at dozens of locations. Will all the representatives of those locations please stand up so we can recognize you for all our great partners in the community? So you can't do it through partnerships. The city isn't necessarily in the preschool business and the early childhood business. Our job is to be champions, advocates, and to help forge public-private partnerships. But as I said earlier, this is a continuation and a journey and a movement. Jane Leach is here from Future Ready Columbus, and we have realigned Future Ready. We couldn't ask, by the way, for a greater early childhood advocate than Jane Leach, and someone that understands the importance not just of education for 3 and 4 year olds, but really birth to 5. You know, really aligning and creating a continuum, starting with our work around Celebrate One and reducing infant mortality all the way to kindergarten readiness. We can't do kindergarten readiness if we just fund preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds. We've got to get involved in the earliest days of life for these young people to make sure that they are kindergarten ready, and ready not just to get through their first couple years, but to thrive and to flourish. And so I ask you today to think of other ways that we can grow this movement and engage folks from across this community in talking about the critical importance for early childhood education and getting organized. My vision is for us to become a national leader in the birth to 5 space. Kindergarten readiness, something we can all rally around as a community. The school district, the city, the county, all our nonprofit child care providers, centers, our home care providers. This is what it's all about. And so I am so excited to be here today to talk about the great work that we're doing. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Gladden, thank you for hosting us. We're proud of what we've done, but it's not enough. And so I ask each and every one of you to think about how we continue to grow this movement and make sure that every child in this community is ready to thrive on that first day of kindergarten. Thanks so much for being here.